Wukong also banned, kind of being one of the other big picks alongside Lucian. RNG really just saying, all right, we'll take the big picks out of the tournament. We're confident playing against whatever you want to bring at us. So Ezreal and curiously Volibear banned away from Wei, but Gwen is going to continue to have very high priority when she's open.
Yep, Gwen is an insane top lane pick right now. She has been able to snowball a very strong lane phase, and with the cooldown refresh change to be a little bit shorter so you get your E back up faster, we've seen people actually outplay a lot of early gank attempts, which is when people are trying to punish her before she gets her ultimate and stuff like that. But then even without Flash, able to survive through these. Impact had a couple of good ones. We've seen a number of players just pop off on this champion.
Absolutely. As looks like Kaisa is starting to
the Nautilus
maybe become the pick du jour. There is the Naut though.
Okay, so Ming's Nautilus
pretty good.
Insane. People have been hyping it up, and so far this tournament, I have a little monologue about.
I'm ready.
Nautilus, if you'll indulge me.
I'll indulge. After all of Gala's trolling, gets Lee Sin.
Yep, all that trolling gets Lee. I do appreciate the Galio ban, since I was just hyping up, like, it's a pretty good Galio angle, like, kind of telegraphed. So Red also picking up that angle, getting rid of that, and I think that makes Wei want a more individual champion, playing less for the team right now, get across the map and just start scrapping, as opposed to going for this kind of big team fight wombo combo, press R, engage comp.
Yeah, obviously Xiaohu's going to get counter pick here. We'll see how he wants to tie the room together. But still 2 more picks to come here for Red. Need a bot laner for Titan. It is Jhin, which has been a surprisingly popular pick this tournament. I think Umbral Glaive has something to do with that, but I think Jhin's also just decent.
Yeah, I think with the marksman nerfs that push the Jinx and Aphelios down the tier list a little bit, you also have the Umbral Glaive changes. It's made Jhin a bit more attractive of an option. You still need to make sure you're pairing him with enough damage that he's mostly follow-up. I mean, when Jhin gets ahead with the lethality and stuff, he can absolutely obliterate squishies on the enemy team, but there's some situations where you're not ahead or the enemy has some front line, you're going to rely on the rest of your team. And for the most part, Red does have a fair amount of damage, especially with Vex now locked in as well. A lot of dive tools. 4 out of 5 are going in. Jhin sitting on the back line, hopefully safe. We've seen a number of times where dive comps abandon their marksman to be assassinated by the enemy team's dive comp.
Yep.
And I'm really curious what Xiaohu's going to go. The TF makes a lot of sense with the Galio banned out, wanting to go for this more global game plan that you kind of identified as soon as the Jax was locked in with the Kaisa. This is the next best option available.
Yeah, definitely feeling like the red side lanes are going to get attacked. I think in particular, definitely eyes towards that Gwen. We've talked about it, right? She's so powerful. RNG knew what they were giving away when they didn't ban her, right? It was kind of an easy first pick up for Red. And so they've just decided to draft in a way that they can pretty continuously attack this Gwen if RNG get the expected foothold into this game.
Yeah, I mean, this is obviously going to be eyes on top lane for scrapping, but I also low-key just want to watch the Ming Nautilus. Like,
oh, of course.
Given that very likely RNG wins this game, I believe Red will almost be 100% knocked out at that point if with a loss here. I have to double check that.
You're looking at the wrong human.
I'm just going to start saying tiebreaker facts.
Oh,
if they're wrong, they're wrong.
Yes.
I'm just going to misinform 100,000 people. No big deal.
Love that for you.
No, but I think RNG in this game are obviously heavy favorites. I know there's been a lot of memes about the games being taken away, what number it is, but they've been so good. But I do think there's been windows where people have made plays against them. There's been times where, especially in the early game, a lot of the pool 1 seeds have had some oopsies where teams legitimately either make a nice gank happen or they get an outplay. And it's actually more like the 10 to 20 minute mark where I think you see the dominance of the pool 1 seeds come in when they start having team fights around Rift Heralds and Dragons and how they play Vision and setup and all that stuff is actually what elevates them a lot more than just like straight up laning dunking, though that does happen.
It does happen sometimes.
It does happen.
I mean, RNG are not the early game team, right? We think about a lot of LPL teams. Very good in the early stages. Not bad by any means, especially if they do outclass their opponents by any significant margins. But in the LPL, RNG were not known for that, and Red are off to the races, 5-stacking through the enemy river.
Alrighty, they have a lot of ways over the wall. They might try and get into the pit and then over with a Leona E if they can force Bin through that choke point. It looks like they're not actually going to go for that one.
Delaying this next section of Invade a little bit more. Wei's going to spot out Aegis, and I believe that's going to spot everyone else. So
RNG,
they're going to leave.
We're on the heads up, though. They've already got their own ward on the red pit leaked out there. Grab that one. Nice and easy for Ming. Just ran in there and dropped it, and then actually was able to get back in time for the sweeper, which means you can find some more setups for Wei. Wei does know, of course, that red was warded out, so maybe that combined with Ming having a sweeper might lead to an earlier gank for bot lane. We can see if he does any cheese.
Certainly will have some help down there. Double Glacial Augment. We've seen a lot of Leona and Nautilus hanging out, and there is kind of a debate on which one you want to grab.
Also about rune choice.
Yes.
Ox in the previous analyst test segment was talking about the swap for Farfetch over to the Aftershock, and I think there is a good case to make for that, especially if you are struggling a little bit to find something a little
You're death
more
prone.
Yeah, and it's a more selfish rune that's going to keep you alive. There were a couple times in fights where it was actually pretty close and Farfetch was kept alive, but for a player like Ming, who I assume knows the limits of Nautilus well enough that you can go for the greedier rune of the Glacial Augment.
Whereas, of course, Leona a bit more naturally tanky. So we'll see how they do in the 2v2. Mid lane should be a lot of farm trading. It's going to be more about Xiaohu affecting those side lanes. Has the spellbook, has the TP. As the base spell just needs to avoid any sort of Grevthar all in. And then this matchup's a fun one.
Yeah, the Jax there, proccing the E. GUIGO jumping back with his own. Actually not being able to get the reset during the stun window. Slight misplay, I think, a little bit. You don't want to use your E and then still get stunned and then not get the cooldown on your E snip. So you really need to, I think, just kite it out and then take the E back in for maybe a better trade. I don't know. It did not look clean right there, getting bullied a little bit level 1.
Yeah, level 1. Now it looks okay, obviously, as Gwen's picking up a bit more farm, but Bin was literally 12-0 in farm. Had complete control of the early wave, was getting it pushed in, held the level 2 versus 1 advantage for a while, and obviously the lane's going to even out now, but Bin navigating level 1 very nicely, as Xiaohu is going to take a nice bit of burst there from Grevthar's skill shots.
Not bad by Grevthar. I know people have been very critical of some of the players struggling this round. Farfetch has been getting a lot of attention. I think even for RNG of the players, the early game that you're talking about that can be a little suspect for them, yes. A lot of the times it's Wei who people are looking at his playmaking. His volley bear in a game that no longer counts was very criticized. No longer have to worry about that with a couple early deaths. And I know people, it's a debate when you're playing these kinds of games. How clean should you really be? They tend to go for riskier plays because they're sure they'll be able to come back even if it doesn't work. So I'm usually not too critical at this point in the tournaments.
No, I'm here for the fun, that's for sure. As trying to land it up here in the 1v1, but it is a bait here for the Lee. Aegis going to get spotted as well. Good patience here by Wei. Is it counter gank time? I think it is. Wei's just going to chill.
Might end up too far away from this play, though, unless they make a dive happen.
Now he's leaving again. Yeah, just has no idea. Oh, Sneeds. Oh, all right.
Wait, so Wei might wait for the recall to finish and then go for the Gwen.
Yep. And yep, that's the play. So now Gwen's roaming in, trying to find the jungler, but the jungler is already behind him. Ben's going to have to clean out the wave, though.
Is he going to recall? Oh, here he goes.
No, he's going. They are going to make him play a very long setup here for the game, but they're trying to make it happen. 2v1. Gwen, no flash, no hope, and first blood over to the Lee Sin.
This just slow play by Wei there, sitting in the brush. I would have to go back and check exactly how long that was. That was like 45 seconds to a minute. And as much of a joke as that sounds, like, this is one of the things at international tournaments that always throws other teams for a loop, is how long the Chinese junglers are willing to brush camp. Like, the biggest culprit of this back in the day was MLXG, who would just sit in the brush all day, become MLXD until he finally finds this like one Lee Sin kick. And I do think it's something that sometimes people aren't ready for.
Flash E in, Ming gonna flash out of the way. Gala in trouble potentially, but Nautilus is the target they want. Again, pretty squishy, ignites down, TP is gonna cover. Chitan though, jumping on in, flashes forward for the auto, and that's a kill there in the gank for red.
Chitan and Jojo popping off in the bot lane, and even Ming is not safe from defeating Nautilus.
Oh boy.
Champ issue.
All right, well, you know what? It's only one. First one to get a pass. See how it happened through the rest of the game as Ben starting to really dominate this 1v1 potentially. Gwen, though, going back through. Not 6 just yet. Tries to trade back, but Ben definitely winning that exchange.
Yeah, it's going to get a lot worse at 6. Ben will then have his passive from that proccing as well. So here we'll see the setup. Just Leona into Nautilus is in general a good matchup, and though he does kind of buffer the hook there, the root follow-up from the Jhin, that utility that we're talking about, able to get the extra stun from Jojo last second. She got a nice flash forward for the 4th shot.
Yep.
Just well comboed together. Ming did what he could, but that is one of the instances where you look at Aftershock and go, yep, you probably lived there, because
Absolutely.
he got the buffered hook onto the Leona E, which is, 1, nice hands.
Yep.
But 2, was when your Aftershock would have proc and kept you alive.
A plate here for Bim. Does have flash, but he's going to have to wiggle his way out of this 3v1 actually. Great flash. Get out from under the first as Jojo roams up, and that fear lands, but Bin's far enough away that that gank will not happen.
Actually, a really important gank there for red. The top lane was not going well. The first blood, the fact that you have the just advantage of the matchup going in his favor. Being able to force the flash out does limit how aggressively Bin can play that lane, because you no longer have the flash to escape if you just perma brain off split pushing. So that will give a brief window for GUIGO to start farming up, even out the lane.
Oh, that's absolutely filthy out of Ming. How did he know? Chitan was trying to play back. Like, look at where he is versus where the 5-plate tower is. Like, he knows what's happening.
He's trying to be smart. You send multiple resources up to the top side. I'm not safe in the bot lane. I'll run through my jungle to try and maybe hold mid or something. And RNG just had the read on the play. Camping in the brush, find him out.
My goodness, man. RNG, a heat seeker. Onto the poor red Canids Jhin as RNG are going to take the dragon off the map as well before the 8-minute mark, so no Rift Herald to worry about trading. This one, just a little bit of extra off the back of that very nice play in the enemy jungle.
Yes, that is going to be the first Drake in their favor. It's a good one to steal away as well, given the fact that I don't think they naturally really wanted to play towards bot side with this TF. A lot of these resources are going to be able to go top, and normally when you do that, the trade is red will be grabbing the dragons, and then we have to worry about stacking the dragons, and eventually we'll have to fight those, but you slow down red's stacking option, so it allows you to play the map a little bit longer into the game.
How close Ming is to 6, because Gala's 6 right now. Actually, Ming like threw out a hook, kind of close to the enemy tower, because I think Gala's confident in some sort of 2v2 dive right now, because of course Kaisa does have 6 to dive in, but they push the wave in, they're going to back away from the play, and Chitan should be fine, as Ming and Gala are at least going to clear out some vision. Aegis is here, but RNG aren't going to play too aggressively here. Just get their vision and get out.
Yeah, and I think for the most part, RNG probably has an idea. They have a decent vision setup. They have that pink ward from when they picked Chitan in the jungle earlier, and even if they didn't spot out Aegis directly, they at least can try to read his jungle path. I'm sure they're aware of roughly what camps are up.
Also aware of this Herald that they want to play for here. Already roaming everyone up. Very nice setup onto Grevthar potentially. Stun's going to land. No follow-up there. Wei tries to jump on over, but can't quite land the resonating strike. Xiaohu's going to eat the honey fruit, and Gwen's going to spot everyone else.
Yeah, we have the bot lane from red coming up as well to actually contest this Rift Herald. We will get spotted out. We're looking like we're heading for a 5v5 over the Rift Herald, which is not what I would have expected.
Ooh, Gala just running into the enemy. No vision, but doesn't get snapped up there by Chitan's root, so he's going to be okay. Gala goes back to bot now, and I think RNG have decided that they just want to buy some time here. Ben's still fine in the 1v1, although took a little bit of damage in that last trade.
Yeah, with that gank and how the wave was when it happened, it's actually given GUIGO the CS advantage. Will be even higher once he's able to clean up a bunch of these. Not a bad spot to be in given the initial kill that went against him.
TP in. Back to mid lane though for Grevthar. Wei is again just chilling in this brush, but he just probably suspects that something's up here, so is in the area. We'll see if 2v2 eventuates. Also Xiaohu leaning towards that half of the map as well.
I think it's also respecting the fact that there's no flash on Bin, and so that is probably where Red's going to make a play. And again, Aegis is going to walk right through Wei potentially, but too many other members of RNG around, too many people missing on the map as well. I think Red kind of sniffed that one out, knew that there was something up there, and did not actually get baited into making a play onto Bin as he was extended in the lane.
Yeah, maybe made it look a little too obvious, but nice response regardless. Still, RNG do clear out the vision that was had. There was a control ward there that Ming just picked up. Ming's continued to stay nice and proactive here as Red now are going to counterplay, maybe expecting RNG to take a reset off of that play and maybe take this Herald for themselves. They're going to get the vision. They're going to start the objective, and RNG, I think they might have found the timer. Red, very nice little window here.
I actually think this is really both. I think this is good for both teams. It shows that RNG respects Red enough to not do what their comp shouldn't be doing. Like, RNG arguably could have just started a Rift Herald and forced a 5v5 and been like, yo, we're going to outhand you. But I think they respected the fact that, you know, Red's not a joke. If you just go into a 5v5 in this situation against the Vex with this kind of like dive comp that they have, you might get obliterated. And so when Red started moving up to contest the Rift Herald, RNG actually said, you are good enough that we are not going to just brute force this play. We're going to go back to our lane, start farming up again, because we are really more about playing the map. And that gives Red the window off that reset to go ahead and grab that without really losing too much. I mean, Gala going back bot a little bit earlier than Chitan gave him that opportunity to start getting a little bit ahead in CS, as well as some of the other windows where Chitan has been forced off the bot lane.
Yep, nice. Gold efficient, Umbral Glaive already done for Chitan, but Gala feeling good about the gold overall. Going to grab a plate here as well and not get too greedy as there's expecting some presence. In fact, there's 4 people down here. Grevthar ready with the ulti. Not going to fire it away into the brush though, so Gala is going to get away safely.
The small advantage for RNG, it is a 2,000 gold lead. Part of that is just going to be the raw CS, as you saw with Gala having a lead, Xiaohu having a lead, non-negligible. Even Wei is up despite that kind of brush camp that we were memeing about. He is actually in a good spot, as well as the just natural gold generation of TF, the extra kill, and we get a pause.
All right, well, have a pause, as is evident by the current screen. We have no updates yet, but when we get them, we'll relay them to you, don't you worry.
I doubt this will be anywhere as interesting as the Leona going to space. That was maybe the greatest.
Astronaut Vulcan. Yeah. Gonna be tough to top that one.
There's nothing happening on the map either, so most likely this is maybe some sort of, for RNG, maybe there's some ping related thing. I know that's a big topic right now. There's also the refs talking to the red Canids, so maybe on their end, sometimes something feels a little jittery, your mouse stops working, you can have little mouse dies, headset stops working. Well, we'll see. We'll get an update, but it's not an in-game related bug, I would reckon, given that nothing is really happening.
Yeah, we're not mid Ari Dash.
Yeah.
Which was what happened last time. And then we found out that Vulcan went on a bit of an adventure.
Yeah.
And then came back to see his people.
As much as I think viewers are often disappointed when a pause happens, kind of ruins the momentum and all that stuff, it's something that the broadcast team also feels. I know we don't talk about it very much, but pauses we don't love them.
No.
It's very rare that you come out of a pause with a highlight like the Vulcan one. Most of the time, it's someone spilled water. Caps the classic. You know, that was another one we got earlier in the tournament. Water versus pro players is a difficult matchup.
It's 10-0 in favor of the water bottle.
Really?
For sure.
I said 70-30.
Okay, it's not that bad?
A little more generous.
Okay.
I've seen pro players drink water successfully before. I know it's a doable matchup.
Hard to navigate. Mechanics are a little bit
skill
advanced.
issue. Yeah.
But players get better over time, right? It's been
the meta evolves.
10 years of League of Legends.
Open lids to sippy cups.
Yes.
Soon there's going to be hamster cages, like beer hats on, with the little funnel going in.
A little camelback or whatever.
Yeah. Can't spill that.
You know what, actually? You could maybe attach like a little water thing to like a headset.
Well, that's what I was thinking,
I like that.
I don't know if those exist elsewhere in the world or if that's just an American thing. But you have like the beer hard hats.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I was imagining, but with a headset and then cans of water on the side. All right, we're back in.
Water one, Red Bull on the other.
Yeah, there you go.
Could be good. I'm here for it. All right, back in we go. Wei and Jojo squaring off. There is a dragon up in 30 seconds that the teams may want to scrap for. Red are in the area to try and contest it. Looking for some sort of fight.
That was a very... whenever you come out of a pause, I feel like everyone brain blanks for a moment.
Yeah.
And so off of a reset is actually sometimes more dangerous than just being in lane because you're like, oh yeah, I was going to river, right? And then you're like, wait, where was the enemy? When was the last time I saw anyone? Versus if they're just standing across from you, you're like mentally prepared, like Leona might flash me, blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
So that was a little dicey there for RNG actually, but they got out of that river situation, and now they've gotten their own control back.
Can't talk, right? You got to remember the plan. You know, if you were mid-plan when that was happening, all of a sudden you just got to retain it in your mind. But looks like everyone is righted the ship. It would have been an interesting play for RNG to try and fight, although they are going to the dragon, have enough control. I say that because there's a TP mismatch there on the top side, but Red instead are going to just drop the Herald top lane and try and get some pressure and some gold into this Gwen. Don't mind this play at all. Basically a trade, knowing that they can't really fight for this bottom lane control they don't have.
Yeah, I mean, this is a really interesting game. It's kind of the inverse of what I would have expected looking at the drafts coming in. You think the TF's going to go topside a bunch. You think they're going to get the Rift Herald if they can, while stacking dragons to snowball the Jacks. And here, hold on, here we go.
Wait a second, Xiaohu going to make an appearance. Does see Grevthar as well. The Nows to be defensive, has the gold card ready. But very nice coverage there from Grevthar. Going to get stunned, but no follow-up.
During this time, though, the dragon was still taken. That still is actually the weak side of the map for RNG, even though Xiaohu ports up there. Grevthar being on the roam, that was actually a coverage TP by Xiaohu, knowing that, hey, the mid laner's missing. He's definitely not going bot lane as we take dragon. So him teleporting up there, and it was a very defensive teleport, maybe more than people were expecting, but it was just to make sure the dive didn't happen. Because on the flip side of the map, we just grabbed dragon. Gala's going to get a turret by himself, just getting absolutely funneled a ton of gold right now. And so while coming in, I was like, Bin's going to carry this game. It's going to be a crazy matchup in the top side. It's actually been the inverse for now. They're stacking dragons and have an extremely strong marksman.
And Bin might carry the game. He doesn't need to right now. He's chilling, getting CS, has to contain the Gwen. Ming's up here in the top side, maybe help out, and it's going to be a dive. Level 6 Nautilus, there's the ulti. Gwen is immune, of course. But how else can they navigate? In fact, they cannot. Just an ignite, and the tower's doing a little bit too much. Ming, though, max range, finds the hook, and they will grab the kill between two turrets.
Gonna back off there. I think maybe GUIGO should have stayed underneath the turret because it was still leashed, I think, onto Ming right there. Ends up going down. Does outplay it a little bit with the immune. The ultimate, not able to survive, though. There were no TPs up to help cover that play. Red's doing what they can, though, pushing down the bot side, splitting the map right now. Trying to grab that turret to equal it out, but top side is in RNG's control, and Bin now is finally able to go like, okay, I played defensively long enough, team. Give me some turrets, give me some ganks, let's get this going.
Yeah, real nice presence there from Ming, even with Nautilus ulting getting cancelled, which is not easy. There aren't very many abilities that will do that. But Gwen missed is one way, as Gala and Xiaohu continuing their pressure. Wei also with the wraparound, flash, pop, kick, kill. Xiaohu picks it up. And now Jojo back in there, gets the ulti down, beautifully timed stasis though, and Gala's gonna turn it over around. Here's Ming though, finds the hook, but Aegis is diving on through. Xiaohu with another beautifully defensive card, but Gwen's trying to make it happen. Needleworks run out, but Grevthar missing the ulti, and RNG, they're gonna get away with everything here. And now Wei, are you going back in? You find the Q, you got the damage. Gala actually on the side, picks up the enemy jungler, and RNG finds 2 kills there.
RNG just out team fighting Red there. The initial kill was super clean. Chatan instantly blown up, but then there was a moment where Red, if they were able to land just a couple more abilities, probably could have turned that fight. If Grevthar landed that ultimate to go flying in with the massive fear, could have turned it. This initial kick was just too clean. Gold card already primed. Wei, flash, ward hop, kick back, instigate, like an excessive amount of CC. You could argue the Everfrost not maybe needed by Xiaohu. Nice stopwatch to survive, but a well-timed, or maybe that was a Leona stun actually, maybe not Aegis' stun. But with him getting so low, GUIGO also getting a lot of damage out in the Gala. If this landed onto either of them, the double fear back would have made this an easy 3-for-0 before Wei could get back involved in the fight. Not able to land that means that it opens up Aegis to get flashed on top of by Gala. Nice window to get on top of him there. Gala's bloodthirsty.
Yep, self-scry as well. Just put the blue trigger down, sees him there, insta flash over. Nice and clean there from Gala. That's the killer instinct you love to see. Didn't even need the ulti there, as Ming once again has found a hook. Back we go for Jojo. Tower's dead in mid though, so Jojo's going to evaporate. Leona not tanky enough. Bin's going to find 2 kills. Xiaohu's going to cut him off at the pass. And there's the Everfrost as well to Aegis. Gala's got a double. Gala's got a triple. Just too clean right now for RNG.
Wants 2 more, not gonna find him in this fight. Still hunting for his first pentakill of the tournament. Jhin getting a little low.
No ulti though for Kaisa.
Yeah, he's...
Ming's gonna keep hunting though. Ming's like, hello, I know where you are. And he's gonna try and make it happen. Jhin flashes away. Once the kill's gonna get it, but dies in the end. He'll call worth.
He'll call worth. He's trying to sink that Nautilus KDA. We have to keep the meme going. That Nautilus is a feeder champ. Ming's kind of ruining that narrative right now as he's only died twice, and that one was, again, one of those times, deaths don't tell the whole story there. Clearly he knew that he was in trouble, but he had the stopwatch. He actually played it very well. He made Jhin have to give his life up to find that kill. Here's one of those times where the Leona mechanic about going to the back target is not great. Did not mean, I don't think, to land on Xiaohu. I think he just wanted to get Ming there, and so ends up in the middle of the entire team of RNG. Once he's dead, that's like the main front line for your team here. It's an easy chase down for the re-engage with Xiaohu, TPing to split that team up. Jhin never able to really get involved with the fight, same with GUIGO, and from there, it's pretty easy. I kind of respect Jhin as well, hoping to find Ming, not looking, like, it's like they're both looking for each other. Like, because otherwise he could have gone bot lane maybe or just recalled, but he wanted the Nautilus face check, not able to kill him fast enough, and Ming buying time for Xiaohu to get in there.
Actually nicely done by Jhin as well, like dodging the last wild card, like giving him enough time for the stasis to wear up and get the kill. Obviously they give Xiaohu time to walk forward and kill you anyways, so it was always going to be a trade, but a dragon fight has started. Third dragon available here for RNG. Jojo again in trouble. He's going to go down to Gala, and now Gala's going to keep on going. Bing with the wraparound, but KI over the top, and that's 2 kills for Wei. It's the dragon is one of them. Gala going to pick up yet another kill. It's a double, it's a triple, is it a quadra, is it a penta? Gala's going to get it again! The pentakill for Gala!
Gala gets his second pentakill of the tournament. No, his first one. I messed it up.
Oh, no!
His first pentakill of MSI.
Go back. Retcon MarkZ's call. We got to go back.
Replay it again. I'll get it right. The third one. Oh, Gala popping off on the Kaisa. One of the signature picks for him here. Absolutely crazy team fight there. Most importantly, Ming dying again as well. The 1 kill going in their favor. The Dragons snatched up as well to get them onto their sole point. RNG over 10,000 gold in the lead, steamrolling to their 2nd win of the tournament.
Everything we wanted. Gala pentakill, more Nautilus deaths. It's just all coming together. So watch this one again, Mark.
Yeah, here we go. So a couple things to look out for. This is like a good setup for Red. Like, this is actually a good team fight. It's just wallet dip at this point because they just get absolutely slammed from here. Nice kick by Wei, actually getting that knock up just right as the Viego was coming through. All that was super clean. Jhin was sniping from a pretty good position, but it was like an 8K gold deficit going into that fight. It was something that would have been very difficult to win to begin with.
Yep.
And Red, I actually think, executed well, just from a little bit too far behind.
Yeah. Nice fight there for RNG. Even get the dragon in the middle of it all. Wei did pick it up. I thought it was a kill. It was just the Drake. But RNG collects the full 5 plus the additional. Getting the bonus there. They'll be on soul point. Xiaohu's going to set up. That's a very aggressive TP. Aegis cannot hide from Twisted Fate ulti. Everfrost lands. Ming wants in there. That might be a little bit ambitious. And the Nautilus death may keep racking up as Gala going to be the target. But oh my goodness, man. He's legendary. He's going back through. He's going to get a double. Is it back-to-back pentas? No way. He's going to shut that off. But he's going to nab a triple for his trouble.
Yeah, GUIGO nowhere nearby. But Ming says, don't worry. Bin will get the last one for you. Gets the ace for the team in front of the inhibitor with the dancing Shelly. Ooh, we might be in for a treat.
Looking good so far. RNG trying to speed run their games yet again. They may have reset the times, Mark. But RNG still full steam ahead. Jojo, level 7 Leona is just going to get bullied here. And Shelly is going to get the final charge. Au revoir. No, it's up! We made it! The Rift Herald and all 5 members of RNG are going to make it to see the Nexus fall. RNG, a 20-minute stomp.
Shelly posing for the camera there. The 6th member of RNG coming up clutch, helping them close that game out. RNG moving up to technically 2-0, but 5 straight wins.
They're EXO. They just haven't lost yet.
Yeah, they're looking really good. Very scary, I think, for Red. Tried their best. A different look a little bit for them. Just trying to find some leads in the top lane. Did not quite work out, but RNG continuing snowball, looking like favorites. The debate will continue heading into Rumble stage, assuming they make it there. T1 or them, who should be the favorites? G2 also making a little bit of noise in Group C.
Oh, quite a lot of noise, I have to think. Obviously, we'll see them tomorrow, see if they end up, and see if they can also continue their undefeated run. A couple teams vying for a clean group stage here, which would be very impressive. I think for me, though, especially looking at what time that game ended, I don't think you would have thought the early game went the way it did. That was very respectful for RNG, very controlled.
Yeah, I think this is kind of going back to what we were talking about a little bit, which was it's the 10 to 20 minute mark.
Yeah.
That is like the massive gap in team coordination. It's not really the first 10 where, you know, they're going back and forth. Yes, it's like a 1,000 gold lead, some laning a little bit in their favor, but then 10 to 20, they really know how to blow games open and put people in the grave. That happened very quickly.
Yeah, and Xiaohu did a great job of just kind of controlling whatever lane needed control. Gala and Ming continue to beat people up in 2v2s, and then as soon as the team fight starts, Gala gets a penta and the game's over.
Yeah, normally this is the point where I would say something about tiebreakers. I have no idea because RNG has not played the right amount of games, so hopefully the analyst desk can fill us in with that one.
Someone else can find out. But before we go to break, we have a question from the latest episode of the Rift Reaction podcast. What MSI group are you most excited about? Group A, Group B, or Group C? Head over to the episode on Spotify to share your thoughts.